once again, we are traveling back to Nollywood, and this time for a new Netflix series, because there's always a new one every week. Nollywood is churning it out like...
Baby, cranking them out. They don't take a break.
Oh my gosh, woo! They give you
Man.
no breaks in between.
Not one.
Every time you look up, boom, watch this. Boom, watch this. Boom, watch.
Yes.
You know what's crazy is I wonder if they have like that Hallmark or that Tyler Perry like film schedule where it's like, we're gonna film this series in a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't seem like that.
It doesn't?
No, it doesn't always seem like that.
Oh, okay.
But they be cranking it out to the point that I'm like, is anybody regulating anything? You shouldn't be on set for 48 hours straight.
Right, exactly.
But anyhow, so we recently came across this new series that we wanted to get into because I am a huge fan of Sola Sobowale, and anything that she's in, my antenna go up.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna dive into this because I don't think I've ever seen something that the actor was too strong for the series.
Ooh.
Listen, check out the trailer for Postcards, and we'll be right back with our review.
Are you ready to go to the specialist hospital in India?
India. Welcome to Mother India.
Everybody say namaste!
Tiera, if you could, run down us the synopsis for Postcards, and let's get into it. I want to see what you thought about this rather unique series, at least from our point of view. Run it down to us and let's get into it. Mm-hmm.
So the synopsis that we have is: when a Nigerian single mother travels to India for a medical checkup, her journey will end up touching the lives of everyone she meets.
Okay, so you can see
pretty basic.
But you can see why I'm thinking to myself. I'm like, oh, bet. So there's a series, Sola's in it, and I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought in my mind that they were going to give us, several, was it like 6 episodes of Sola doing her thing. And because she's such a phenomenal actress, I was like, oh, it's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I should have dug a little bit more because I wouldn't have felt like y'all played in my face. I feel like y'all dangled it and was like, here, come. Here's this, person that you love and that, you love their work, but not for real.
Not for real. Uh-huh.
So Sola is listed as our lead. She plays Auntie Bunmi.
Mm-hmm.
And she also has a son named named Yemi, played by Tobi Bakre. I'm familiar with Tobi's work because he was in Gangs of Lagos a while back.
Okay.
And which recently got canceled and everything. And that was the whole, we spoke about that. But so I'm familiar with his work. And in that show, it's different because, it's action and it's drama and it's something else. In this movie, they being Sola's character and Tobi's character are mother and son. However, we don't really ever see them together in the first half of the show.
No.
For that to be established.
And I thought this whole time, so like we see their 2 parallel storylines happening throughout the episodes. And I knew that there would be a point where they would meet, but I thought it was going to be a love interest kind of thing. I didn't think it was going to be her son.
Oh my. Well, see, I thought that because they were doing that thing, like you said, the parallel storylines, and I thought that they were going to come together much sooner, and they kind of kept teasing that throughout the series, and it never happened. Mm-hmm. So another key player in here, who's always in everything you see a Nollywood production, he's in it, is RMD, they call him. And in this RMD is
that.
playing Olumide. Olumide is a jerk. he's an asshole. He's all these things, but he also lives in Mumbai. He lives in India. Yeah. He lives away from his family, and he's doing well for himself there. What he does, we don't know. We don't know, but we know that he's doing really well. Mm-hmm. And he makes arrangements for this is where I thought we were going. He makes arrangements for his sister to travel to India because she falls ill and she needs surgery. Now, one thing about Indians, they're gonna doctor.
Yes, they are.
Right?
They are.
So in order for her to get better health care for her condition and ensure that she gets the best, he makes arrangements for her to come to India to get checked out. However, he doesn't even pick her up from the airport. He doesn't greet her. He puts her up in a hotel. He avoids her at all costs. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh, there's some drama here. Or there's something that's going to unfold. Mm-hmm. Because on the other side of that, you have the son, Yemi. Yemi, listen, Tobi, this is to you.
Oh, directly.
You a lot of things. And I get it. I know. I get it. But you ain't no dancer.
Oh, TeaRon.
You ain't no dancer, buddy. I'm so sorry. So Tobi is playing Yemi. Yemi is also, again, he's avoiding his mother at all costs, just like the brother in India is avoiding his sister at all costs, right? Everybody's avoiding her except she's a socialite. Mm-hmm. She's the life of the party. She's living it up. Mm-hmm. Right? But she's lonely. She's so lonely. She goes home. She does, etc. Yemi is so into dancing. And here's where y'all really made me feel like Disney Plus-ish. He comes to, was he at a dance studio or something?
I think it was a studio, yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. And they do that little dance segment, and it keeps going on. Mm-hmm. And it keeps going on, like they do the full out routine. I said, am I watching High School Musical? But I'm looking and I'm like, okay, they was waiting for him to show up for what, to do that? Tiera, you danced as a kid. Is Tobi a dancer like that?
He could hit a little one too,
But the full out choreo?
No.
So I was like, okay. And so I knew that there was going to be something there because they stayed with it too long.
Yeah.
I just really want to summarize this. So that's sort of in the first episode. We end up getting to India. Okay. And when we get to India, we meet a doctor who is coming to care for Auntie Bunmi. Mm-hmm. And somehow they are having a conversation. I guess he's just trying to make her feel comfortable, because she's nervous about, being having procedures done or possibly having surgery. Who isn't? That's a natural fear. But they end up getting on the topic of his wife.
Yeah.
And it turns out that he was like, oh, actually my wife is Nigerian. So being, this West African culture, it was like, oh, okay, bet. We family, basically, right?
Family. I'm your auntie.
Straight away. To the point that it's not just like, a casual saying, like, in the friendly way. To the point that Bunmi kind of gets nosy. She gets up in the doctor's business.
Very quickly.
I'll let you pick it up from there. So what did you think about the doctor and his wife? Why did we even go there?
I understood why that needed to happen in the story. It was the tie-in to make her feel more comfortable with the doctor, and like the tie-in from Nigeria to India. Okay, fine. I don't know why we had the ongoing storyline about the doctor and the wife not having kids and the choice to not have kids. And I recognize that is such a huge trope in Nollywood.
Oh my God.
Cinema, movies, TV, everything.
Why is
such
it?
a huge trope.
Y'all always in somebody's womb.
It's always in somebody's womb. And I'm like, God, that's so uncomfortable. And why do we always end up here? We always end up
They
talking
gonna
about
find a way
and
to
reproduction.
And first of all, this is gonna sound wild when I say this. They're in India.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of people already there. I know. Mm-hmm.
They could adopt a kid, no problem.
It's a lot of people.
There's
there.
plenty babies. Plenty babies need a family.
Yes.
So why are we even tripping? You know?
Listen, India is already overpopulated. There's enough people here. It's enough. So for that to be like the instant trope, I was like, oh, here we go.
Roll your eyes, right?
We go.
If you could, who do we have playing the doctor and the wife as well? By the way, my bad.
Make sure we recognize these actors. So the wife of the doctor is played by Rahama Sado, and then the doctor himself is actually played by Rajanish Dagal.
And I didn't mind their side quest for the most part.
Side quest.
But I was like, okay, because like I said, at this point we had already established that there was some kind of friction or some weird stuff going on, that the son was avoiding his mother, that the brother was avoiding her, that she felt alone, you know. Mm-hmm. There was already this other stuff going on. And so I was like, okay, make it make sense. Why are we spending so much time with the doctor and his wife, right? Mm-hmm. Because in the end, the payoff wasn't even worth it. But before we get to the end, so we know how Bunmi ends up in India because of her brother, you know, making sure she gets there for her doctor and everything. That's how she meets the doctor. Mm-hmm. The son, in the most ridiculous way, gets this is the absurdity of it all. This is when I couldn't suspend my disbelief. Mm-hmm. This Yemi when he went to go dance at the studio, they recorded it on their phone. Yeah. Apparently they were recording the dance for a submission to try and be in a Bollywood movie, right? Yes. The casting director of this production ends up seeing like 2 seconds of his video with dancing, which we already established at the beginning of this conversation that it was bad dancing. Sees him dancing and it's like, oh, let's get him. So now this is how we end up, everybody in India. Was that lazy or what?
I mean, he had to get there. We needed him there. And we needed somebody to pay for it. So no, it makes sense.
But like, come on, she looked at that video like, this is how she looked at the video. I'm going to look at the microphone, how she looked at the video. Okay.
Now, TeaRon, now you know that happens. How many times have we seen somebody blow up on social media because they did something stupid and then they end up getting an agent? And it's like, but what have they done? How have they proved themselves? But
he wasn't doing none of that. He wasn't. And then it's furthermore proved that he's not doing any of that, because once he gets to India, he gets his arrangements, all this. Oh, speaking of arrangements. Mm-hmm. When he gets to India and he's set up by the production at this random place or whatever, and he enters the room, he was looking at the room like it was crazy. My initial thought was, it ain't that bad. Inside.
No, I thought it was a cool little studio, like for a little crash pad. It was perfect, actually.
But then it was the contrast with seeing his room, and then they cut to his mom's room at the hotel, and it was like, oh, okay.
I love that. I actually really like how they did that. Yeah.
And this is why I thought we were going to kind of see parallels until they figured out that they both were in India and something happened, but that never happened. But anyways, Yemi wakes up that day or that evening, and he's in the room, and there's a bunch of other guys who are sharing this same room, right? And the young man who he goes out to, who takes him out for street food and stuff like this. It was interesting because they had been, throughout the entire series, anytime they introduced a key character or someone who was on screen for a while, they popped up like a little graphic with their name. So it's like Yemi, Bunmi, you know. And they didn't do it for him, even though he was kind of like in it for a little key part. It has, you know, quite a bit of dialogue as well. So that was weird. But then there was a line that he said that I thought was phenomenal.
No, no. Okay, we are not going to hurt you. It's okay.
Me, Yemi. This my room.
It's all right, man. We all speak English. We have the same colonizer. You should know that.
Fantastic line. Fantastic line. I cackled when he said that.
I was like, yes.
Yeah, I loved it.
So, you know, we got to see him out hanging around people of his age group and stuff like this. But they get to the set where he's being, you know, where the reason he's in India is to be in this Bollywood film or whatever. Here's the thing. I don't know if you ever seen these Bollywood movies or these music videos and stuff like this. They don't play around, Tiera.
No, it's serious. Yeah, it's serious.
It's a whole thing. They do not play around. And for Yemi to come and be stiff as a board, getting out danced by everybody. And then this is another scene where they had a long dance segment. Like they were pretty much letting the full thing play out. And I was like, why would y'all do that? Because there's parts where Yemi's not even keeping up with the dance. He's missing, his beats and everything. So how? And then they moved him to the front to rearrange the cast or whatever, so he could be up front and be on camera and shit. And I'm like, no, you were where you were supposed to be.
In the back.
Bruh, like, please stop playing in my face. But it was just a lot going on in the middle there that I felt like could have been less. But I realized that they were trying to fill out 6 episodes. So that's where we got the doctor storyline and her friend coming to visit her. By the way, Nancy Isimi.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
Baby. But there were just some side storylines that I just did not care about, because by the time we get Bunmi going into surgery, Tiera, I was like, okay. And then they cut that at the end of the episode, they cut it in a way where it's like, we don't know if something happened to her or not. And when the next episode comes on, they don't immediately pick back up from there.
Right.
I was pissed because I was like, I felt like y'all just pulled her in to get, people like me who enjoy her work to watch that far.
Yeah.
I was mad.
It worked. Because let's be real. If you had seen this promo and she wasn't in it, you wouldn't have thought twice about watching it. No shade.
Truly. The tactic worked. The good things that I like about it, and I'll kind of give my general consensus and rating here. Yeah. The good things that I liked about this were, I liked the idea of seeing these 2 distinct cultures coming together, and you get to see like a marrying of that. But this is not forbidden territory for the director, because she also did the movie Namaste Wahala, which was a mixing of the 2 cultures. And I think she does that because, from my understanding, the director is Nigerian by birth, but she's very much Indian. Like in how she maybe her parents were Indian, they had her in Nigeria or whatever. Okay. But so there's always like a marrying of the 2 cultures, and we get to see that play out in the not only the costumes and the dialogue, but also in the doctor and his wife, right? The literal marriage of 2 different cultures. And we get to see both of them, both the cultures kind of shine. We see Yemi teaching his peers some like Nigerian, sort of West African dances and things like that. And so, you get to see those beautiful things sort of happening. And that's a good feeling. the things that I didn't like, so that's what I liked the most. Okay, the things that I did not like was I felt like, and especially in the scene where Bunmi Sola, she is in the hospital and they tell her that she's going to have surgery. Sola is an actress, period.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to give it. Now imagine this. Sola, when they're shooting the scene, she's not hearing the score that they're going to put behind it, right? She's not hearing the the music that is going to be going over the scene, because why is she giving her all in this thing, in this scene? She was giving it to us only for y'all to put this jolly score over that. Did you feel the same way when you watched that?
I felt the exact same way when I was watching it, and I was thinking to myself, like, man, if she really had the right dialogue for this level of acting, next level. It would be so next level. I was like, the two things are mismatched here.
Yeah, it was
not adding up.
It was the music over that scene was just so jolly. The music throughout the series felt very much like a and I don't even know if this is accurate, but to me, it felt like what an Indian soap opera would be.
Yes.
Where it's kind of like up tempo, it's lighthearted, it's there, and it has some sprinkling of like undertones of like heaviness and drama in there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not deep enough for what she was giving.
Yeah.
She was
it was so mismatched. I was like, yo, this is not adding up to me right here.
Anybody who's seen King of Boys, because Sola has been acting for decades, but anybody who's seen King of Boys a few years back, and that level, like she was born to play this role, and she's giving drama, she's giving everything. Anybody who's seen that, and then you see this, she's giving just as much of that, as she always gives. But it was everything else that was accompanying the acting that was like, okay, do y'all want me to take this moment serious or not?
Yeah, it came off comedic because of that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's the part, that's the director. I needed the director to pull her back a little bit. Like, yes, give us this, but then pull back a little bit, because it was a lot. And there were a few scenes that were like that, where it was like, I know you are a master class actor, but I just need you to pull it back a little bit, because this is not giving what you think is giving.
What they expected it to be. So that I had a problem with. Overall, I am going to give this. I'm going to give it Osita Ihime. I'm going to give it a pawpaw, right in the middle there, because I enjoyed so much that I was able to get through it. It was an easy watch. The episodes weren't too long. I enjoyed seeing the cultures come together. I always enjoy seeing things like that. And I enjoy most of the people in the production. It was innocent. It was harmless. It's a feel-good kind of film. So in the end, it comes together. But the payoff was whack. It came too late. When the family finally comes together, meaning the Bunmi and her brother and the son and so on, when they finally come together in the end, at that point I didn't care anymore. I stopped caring when I'm serious. I stopped caring. So that's kind of where I'm at there overall. What about you?
Yeah, so for me, I also really enjoyed the coming together of these both of these cultures that are so like vibrant and colorful and rich cultures. So I liked seeing those together, and in a different way than we typically do, because it's typically like a culture clash, right?
Yeah.
You didn't really have that here. It was more of like it came together pretty seamlessly, and I appreciated that. I enjoyed seeing that. I enjoyed the performances, although I feel like some of it was a little overacting for what the material was. I enjoy the performances. I enjoyed seeing Sola. I want to see more of her. I want her to be my auntie. I really like her.
especially yeah.
Like, I think she's fantastic. And I love the costuming. I love the costuming in this. It was great. Like you said, it was lighthearted. It was fine. It was no harm. There were a lot of tropes, the typical tropes. So I expected those. I also okay, y'all gave me a series. I don't think this needed to be a series. This could have been a really cute, really fun 90-minute movie.
Yeah.
But since you made it a series, thank you for only making it 30, 35 minutes. Because again, every episode did not need to be an hour. I'm so glad
No.
y'all did not do that. Thank you. But overall, it was fun. It was lighthearted. I enjoyed it. I think it's something that it is rewatchable. It's something that you
Yeah.
can put on in the background where you're doing other things, or you got people over. Y'all just want to watch something lighthearted and fun. This will be a good option for you. So, I think for me, I also would like to give this one a pop.
Fair enough. I think that's perfectly fine. Like I said, no harm, no foul, but some, like you said, some mixed match situations going on. And also, again, the Indians don't play about their dance numbers. Tobi.
Do you want to come up from behind that desk and show them how it's done?
One thing I can do is cut a rug. What?
Insert a video of you dancing right here.
I will not. But if I was in India and we were shooting a Bollywood, I wouldn't miss no beats. I'll tell you that. Please. Well, if you made it this far, we want to thank you for hanging out with us. Go ahead, if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit a like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get updates about everything that we are doing here on Ubiquitous Blacks. And you can always find me on social media at TeaRon World on Instagram, at TeaRon with 2 underscores on TikTok. And you can also find Ubiquitous Blacks on various social media platforms. You can also email us recommendations or just sharing the love. If you want to be a guest, whatever, all these things. Ubiquitousblacks@gmail.com. Find us online. We are there. Tiera, where can they find you?
Yes, you can find me on my YouTube channel. It is Tiera Takes, TIERA I'm over there doing some travel content. So stop by, say hello, see me, check me out, see where I am in the world. And if you want to follow my socials, all that is on my website. It's at tieratakes.com. And I'm going to echo my boy TeaRon as I always do. Y'all send suggestions our way. We want to check out what you are viewing. We would love to give our reviews. We want to see some new stuff, some international content. So whatever you got, send it our way and we'll check it out.
Tiera, you got to take India.
I do. You know what? I will go to India when you go for your Bollywood
production
audition. Yes.
Well, fortunately, what I can do is I can just record my dance audition right here on this phone, and a scout will see it in 2 seconds, and they'll fly me out to Mumbai.
You on your way? You are on your way. India, here we come.
Please. Woo. Oh my goodness. Well, it was fun, and we will see you all next week. Peace.